David Beckham right here.
As we all know, David Beckham, the former England captain, retired from professional soccer in 2013. However, what many people don't know is that it was only to take on a bigger project. Since retiring, Beckham has continued to be a prominent figure in both pop culture and the world of soccer. While there were plenty of iconic and talented players from the 1990s and early 2000s, Beckham, nicknamed Golden Balls, shattered the corporate norms in a unique way. Here's the story of how he transformed from a footballer into a brand. David Beckham's journey to glory began as he rose to prominence while playing for Manchester United during the 1990s and early 2000s. He later drifted to Spain, joining Real Madrid, at La Galaxy in the United States, and AC Milan in Italy. Ultimately, he wrapped up his career with Paris Saint-Germain in France. David Beckham officially retired from professional soccer in 2013, concluding a great 20-year career as one of the most recognizable and accomplished players in the sport. Even though he's retired now, David Beckham has shown that his involvement in soccer didn't stop when he hung up his boots. Even after an impressive 2 decades in the sport, Beckham made a choice that would change things for him in a way you wouldn't have thought. He transitioned from playing to taking on a managerial role for some real good reasons. In 2007, when David Beckham was at the peak of his football career, representing Real Madrid, one of Europe's elite clubs, and commanding an astonishing annual income of $20 million. Nevertheless, to the astonishment of many, he made a decision that would reshape the football world by joining Major League Soccer, MLS, in the United States.
When I joined in 2007, I always said to the commissioner that my commitment to the league and this sport in this country goes beyond my playing career.
He chose to make a transition from Real Madrid to Major League Soccer, officially joining the Galaxy under a 5-year contract. To facilitate the move, he accepted a big 70% reduction in his salary, which went from £16.6 million per year at the Santiago Bernabeu to £5.4 million per year. Despite the decrease in his earnings, Beckham's financial savvy allowed him to negotiate various clauses. And these clauses weren't as simple as you might think. They ultimately boosted his income in a way you wouldn't expect. Alongside a clause that entitled him to a share of the team's revenue, the winger also struck a unique arrangement with the MLS itself. Sports business expert Joe Pompiano has pointed out that David Beckham secured the right to purchase an MLS expansion team for £20.2 million. This amount was notably 150% higher than what the owners of Toronto FC paid to introduce the Canadian team into the league back in 2007. But Beckham's arrival saw the MLS grow exponentially, with attendances up 40% and the annual television deal going up from £6.4 million in 2006 to an astonishing £203 million this season, an increase of more than 3,000%. Since David Beckham's departure from La Galaxy for Paris Saint-Germain in January 2013, the MLS has expanded by adding 7 new clubs, and the value of franchises within the league has surged from £30 million in 2008 to £472 million today. This considerable rise in valuations has led to higher entry costs for new teams, with New York City paying £91 million to join in 2015, followed by Cincinnati paying £122 million 4 years later. When Beckham established his Inter Miami team, he was entitled to a useful discount due to the clause he negotiated. This arrangement came to fruition, and Inter Miami played their inaugural game in March 2020. Interestingly, Inter Miami entered the MLS alongside Nashville, who also paid over £120 million to join the league. This meant that Beckham saved approximately £105 million when he exercised his discount option. Under the management of Phil Neville, the team even made it to the MLS playoffs in the previous season. Today, they are ranked as the 10th most valuable club in the MLS, with a valuation of £473 million. This sum represents a surprising 2,240% increase compared to the expansion fee Beckham initially paid.
I'm very proud of being an owner of my own team.
The journey from exercising his discount clause to Inter Miami's first match was a challenging one, and Beckham admitted that it left him with some battle scars. Ultimately, the statistics speak for themselves. David Beckham took a significant gamble and was handsomely rewarded, transforming his $6.5 million MLS yearly earnings into over $500 million. I want to be able to create a legacy that my children can turn around in 20 years and say, my dad built this club. There were moments where I looked and I thought this might not happen, Beckham said ahead of Inter Miami's first game. The biggest lesson is I'm more persistent than I thought I was, and I'm more stubborn than my wife thinks I am. I'm obviously not from Miami, I'm from East London. So me going to Miami, trying to buy a piece of land, talk to the politicians, wasn't actually getting us anywhere, funnily enough.
You know what? Us as owners have built this for our families, have built this for our fans' families. This is what we wanted to create, to leave a legacy. For me to leave a legacy in this sport, for our owners and our partners to leave a legacy for our children. You know, in 10, 20 years, we want our children to walk into that stadium and say, our daddy's built that, and that'll be a proud moment.
What will that day be like when you walk in LA Galaxy? It's kind of poetic.
It kind of is, but to be honest, I love the Galaxy, and I had 6 amazing years there, and it'll always hold a special place in my heart, especially LA as a city. But the moment the Galaxy walk into our stadium, there's only one team that I'll be rooting for.
Last one for you, David.
As any owner, you really want the best players, and if we have the opportunity to bring in players like Cristiano or Leo Messi, you know, I've got such admiration for both of them as athletes.
David Beckham achieved a remarkable turnaround for Inter Miami in Major League Soccer, marking one of the most extraordinary success stories in sports business. And the recent addition of the legendary Lionel Messi from Argentina significantly raised the club's worth. The club's worth reached $600 million and subsequently surged to nearly $1 billion, all thanks to Lionel Messi's arrival from Paris Saint-Germain. Beckham's connection to Miami goes beyond his ownership role. He has become deeply engaged in ensuring the club's success. He works closely with coaches, players, and staff to construct a competitive team. As a highly regarded figure in the world of football, Beckham's presence has garnered attention and elevated the profile of Inter Miami CF both domestically and globally. It mainly attributes to Beckham's influence and the team's location in one of the most vibrant and diverse cities in the United States. Inter Miami CF has swiftly cultivated a passionate fan base. The club's matches at DLV-PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale consistently draw enthusiastic crowds, serving as a proof to the city's passion for the beautiful game. Whether you know him as Bex, Golden Balls, or Dave, David Beckham is a blend of football accomplishments and off-field charisma. What truly sets him apart is his ability to be both charismatic and hardworking, showcasing that even with limitations, he relentlessly pursued his goals. The point is that Beckham is doing his thing and is doing it big. His legacy extends far beyond the football field, leaving an indelible mark on the world of sports. And that's why he's here to stay for the long haul, and we absolutely love it.